Hi everyone, I'm Zach, this is the Shaken Fist, and today we're doing a little something different. Isn't it always fun when we do a little something different? I suppose, especially when we get to talk about exciting stuff like this. Joy. This is from a live stream a week and a half ago, from filming. From filming this and putting it out and everything. And I went on a little rant to the start, so, enjoy. And if you like what you see, like, subscribe. And I do these streams every Sunday. I don't just talk about politics. I mainly talk about religion and debunking videos and people making videos, and lectures and stuff like that. So come along. So we got, there's last theists that's on a Sunday, and this is what this is taken from. And this Monday, it's not weekly, but this Monday, maybe monthly, I've not decided yet. I'm trying to do bottom of the barrel again. Third time's the charm, eh? Hey! That's where we're going to be going over pseudoscience memes. I'm going to have Dave from Captive Desk over, and we're going to do that. That's going to be an amazing amount of fun. So, enjoy! Well, I guess we've got to start somewhere, so...
The sun is a deadly laser.
The sun is trying to kill us. Well, it's solar maximum, so I suppose. The sun has been trying to kill us all day, every day, for billions of years. So it's fine. It's fine. I'm more scared of the people in charge, or the people that might be in charge. Because fucking they listen to fucking people like Jordan Peterson around. Do you know what? I will have this rant. Fuck it. I wasn't feeling enthused, but you know what? Thanks, Crystal. You don't only do a great job being a moderator, you get me enthused. So fuck it. Yeah. So I had some fucking. I'm so sick of right wingers, man. All they do is fucking. How is it? No, it's not. I'm not even gonna ask it. It's like I don't even know how to fucking start it now. Some guy left a fucking comment, man, and it twisted my tits real fucking hard. Because apparently us on the left, all we fucking do is follow talking points and don't actually fucking say anything. Meanwhile, this fucker was going on about how there's too many immigrants coming over, and it's like, and it's like, oh wait, so let's just repeat stuff that Ben Shapiro says or Donald Trump or whatever, and it's not talking points at all. Because, hey, do you know what? As long as the person is saying that I can do whatever I want, maybe, then it's okay, right? And you don't have to think about any of the bad side of it. Because Americans are dumb, right? Even the smart ones are dumb. And I'm an American, and I'm smart, and I'm also this dumb. Because people think, hey, do you know what happens? One of these days, I'm going to shoot into the ground, right? And I'm going to fucking find some black gold, and I'm going to be like the Clampets and make loads of money. So all those times that I supported the billionaires stealing money from us hand over fist and, ruining the country all for their own profit and benefit, well, they'll finally get to take part. Because, the American dream, instead of, it being that you can progress through life if you fucking put your nose to the grindstone, a lot of people think that, hey, one day you'll just fucking make it rich and you'll be up there with the billionaires and you get to fuck everyone then.
Good, honest, hard-working people, white collar, blue collar, doesn't matter what color shirt you have on. Continue. These are people of modest means. Continue to elect these rich cocksuckers who don't give a fuck about them. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't give a fuck about you. They don't care about you at all. And nobody seems to notice. Nobody seems to care. That's what the owners count on. Because the owners of this country know the truth. It's called the American dream, because you have to be asleep to believe it.
And so nobody wants to, it's like in America, was it Steinbeck said that Americans see themselves as not the impoverished working poor or whatever, or the exploited working poor, the temporarily displaced millionaires, because eventually they'll get the thing. So you might as well fuck people now, right? Because the whole right wing spiel, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy, isn't it? You know what I mean? And it goes, hey, government is inefficient, motherfucker, and then they get in charge, and then they defund the government by taking away taxes from the rich people, and going, well, we'll give little tax cuts to the middle class occasionally and make it look like we're doing something. And then when you have less money in the pot, and you spend all that money on military things that a lot of these people are connected up into because of the military-industrial complex and the amount of people that are related to, fucking Halliburton and every fucking weapons company known to fucking man, right? So, if you keep on feeding yourself money from the government from a smaller and smaller pot, well, then you've got to take away from other services, and then, oh my god, all the poor and middle class people say, do you know what? I guess the government doesn't work. I don't want to pay taxes to a government that doesn't work. Yeah, I do want to pay less taxes, and the cycle goes on and on and on. And then the schools crumble, and then people become fucking idiots because they aren't taught properly, and they're taught by people, that have not enough money and have to pay for supplies for people because...
Boy, these conservatives are really something, aren't they? They're all in favor of the unborn. They will do anything for the unborn. But once you're born, you're on your own. Pro-life conservatives are obsessed with the fetus from conception to 9 months. After that, they don't want to know about you. They don't want to hear from you. No, nothing. No neonatal care, no daycare, no Head Start, no school lunch, no food stamps, no welfare, no nothing. If you're pre-born, you're fine. If you're preschool, you're fucked.
As much as people go, rah, 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 protect the children, aren't children great? When it comes to funding fucking schools and making people think, no, I don't want to fucking do that. Because, well, my religion says that maybe schools are dumb and they don't want to teach what's in my Bible. Or people just don't like the idea of people knowing things, because when people get smart, people understand more things in the world and they can put more than 2 and 2 fucking together and find out more fucking things that are actually going on in the world and work together to do stuff about it, and we can't be having that, right?
Because that's all you ever hear about in this country is our differences. That's all the media and the politicians are ever talking about, the things that separate us, things that make us different from one another. That's the way the ruling class operates in any society. They try to divide the rest of the people. They keep the lower and the middle classes fighting with each other so that they, the rich, can run off with all the fucking money. Fairly simple thing, happens to work. Anything different, that's what they're going to talk about. Race, religion, ethnic and national background, jobs, income, education, social status, sexuality, anything they can do, keep us fighting with each other so that they can keep going to the bank. You know how I describe the economic and social classes in this country? The upper class keeps all of the money, pays none of the taxes. The middle class pays all of the taxes, does all of the work. The poor are there just to scare the shit out of the middle class. Keep them showing up at those jobs.
So we've got a whole class of right-wing people that are basically using fear and division from the gays and the trans to fucking, like the brown people coming over the border, or over here it's the brown and the white people coming over the border because, the Polish, Albanian, Romanian, whatever, fucking gypsy Romany people that might be coming across the border that day to work at somebody's fucking shitty work site. Well, So if you just keep on caring about that, then you don't care about all the rich people running away with all the fucking money, with tax loopholes, tax rebates, lobbying, fucking being able to fucking configure whatever regulation law they want. The idea that people are sold that these fucking rich fucks don't have to follow red tape because regulations that keep people safe are a bad thing because rich people need to make more money, right? Because, Reagan sold us trickle-down economics, didn't he? Trickle-down economics is just them saying they're literally pissing on you from a great fucking height because it's trickled down, you stupid fucks. And they go like, yeah, do you know what? It works amazing. Do you know what? Maybe they should only give us a pittance of everything.
Is this what we've done to ourselves? Good Christ, I hope not. Good night.
Do you know what? I sure miss feudal lords. Maybe I should be a fucking idiot libertarian and go, maybe we should get rid of the fucking government, except for military things, maybe, because, I want to be a warlord in my land and I want to drink unpasteurized milk, because why should people have to pay for things for regulations? Oh my god, people are fucking stupid. Like, we had Liz Truss in Britain, right? And she's one of those idiot libertarian types, and she was fucking funded and fucking told what to think by one of these idiot think tanks that goes, here's how all the rich people want you to act, and you don't have to declare anything from us, because we're a think tank. We just sit around and think about things, right? And it doesn't matter what we come out with, because it's all bias shash anyway. And when she did her libertarian bullshit, the country fucking imploded. We suddenly lost $40 billion overnight, and in Britain that's a lot of money, because this is a poor fucking country, because the right-wing government has been choking this country since 2010 because of austerity from fucking the 2008 economic crisis, and the only way to get over that was to give rich people more money and take away all the libraries and cut school funding and cut buses and cut fucking transportation and cutting help for mentally ill people, for disabled people, fucking over the NHS, not raising people's minimum wage to at least inflation for 14 years. It's fucking pathetic. And people are like, oh, well, those woke lefties say that I can't say the N-word. Do you know what I mean? It's so bad that maybe we should shoot ourselves in the fucking face and destroy the country and give all the rich people the money.
Excellent.
So we can, these fuckers are like worshipping people like Donald Trump and fucking Elon Musk, who get together and brag about how they fuck over unions, they fuck over workers' rights, and they take away any form of fucking way of the workers being able to do anything, because these fuckers want you to work for fucking nothing, because they want slave labor. They don't give a shit about you. All they give a shit is making the bank balances bigger, because, hey, do you know what? It's better to make your bank balance bigger, because it's a fucking race to whoever... it's the first to $1 trillion, it's the first to $2 trillion, it's the first to $10 trillion, blah, 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 blah. It's a good thing inflation keeps on making our numbers higher and higher. And people champion these people like it's a fucking football team. I like Elon Musk. Go on, Bezos. Do you know what? I'm really a fan of Zuckerberg. I don't think these people are fucking... so fucking pathetic. Man, we are so screwed, and nobody gives a flying fuck. So fun. It's great days. Great fucking days. Well, nobody gives a shit. And people champion this shit on. And they don't understand what's coming, man. You think idiocracy isn't, is out of the bounds of what could be real. But not even just idiocracy, man. There's so much dystopia coming, man. And it's already on the doorstep, man. I remember, I felt so fucking old, a couple of years ago, because I was coming back with some people from playing D&D, right? And they were like fucking, they were the young kids at the time. They're approaching 30 now, but they were like fucking, they were like 20, 25 or whatever, right? And then they got funny with me because I don't have a phone. And I'm like, I don't know. I really don't like the idea of Google and all these different companies knowing literally everything about what I do because I clicked yes on terms of service on a fucking phone. So, do you know what? I have the internet and I have my house. When I'm out and about, I'm okay. I don't fucking need it, all right? I don't need a phone with me at all seconds of the fucking day. And they're like, well, it doesn't matter. And I think, I'm sorry, it totally does. Just because, but that's the thing, right? Now we've got a new generation coming in. And now we have these newer generations of people coming in. It's a trick that's been happening over here in Britain, right? Is you get rid of the older people that know better, right? And then when the newer ones come in, and I'm talking about in jobs and stuff, right? So when the newer people come in, the shitty conditions is all they're used to. So when fucking, when you go out to go, hey, because I used to do bar work all the time, right? And fucking bar work is now paid worse and you don't even get tips over it or anything, right? So I remember in 2003 doing bar work, 2004, 2005, something like that, doing bar work. I was getting paid £13 an hour. And now you only get paid about 11 or 12. You get paid less because the minimum wage has gone up and people go, well, I'm just going to put it down to that, right? So you get no tips and all that shit, and people don't believe you when you say, hey, it used to be like this, and it wasn't that long ago, because people are too used to people going, back when I was but a wee boy, I remember when I could buy a hot dog for $1. Whatever, you know what I mean? And it wasn't even that long ago, because people have been convinced that, for some reason, there's a whole wide group of people that think that when inflation is low, that means that it's going down. Even though all the prices keep on going up, because for some reason deflation is bad, because it isn't helping people exploit people, launder money and such. Panama Papers, anyone? Panama Papers? Nah, who gives a shit about stuff like that? That only says that all the people on the right are money-hungry knobheads that keep all their fucking money in tax havens so they don't have to pay the countries they live in because they hate the people that surround them. They hate the country they live in, they hate the people that inhabit it, and they want to punish them for not being them. They want to punish them for being poor. They want to punish them for being black. They want to punish them for being gay, trans, or whatever fucking shit they can make up at the time. You're lazy, you're fat, you're unemployed, you're disabled, blah, 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 blah. Right? Whatever bullshit they want. Right? And they hate fucking all of you because you're not them. Right? And the other half, and they're just the rich ones, and they've got the poor ones convinced that actually they're a bit like them. So you should be totally on our side. You like to be on the winning side, don't you? Look at how bad everything is. Everything's so bad. It's that black person's fault. It's that gay person's fault. It's literally everybody else's fault but theirs. Because for some fucking reason, people don't look at these Republican fucktards and look at what they do and what they say and realize every time they accuse the left of doing something, it's what they're doing. And I'm willing to bet that happens 80 to 90% of the fucking time. Somebody rallies against something really fucking hard, that's probably what they're afflicted with. Oh, I really hate the fucking gays. You're probably a little bit high, aren't you? At least. And you don't like the idea. It's always some stupid bullshit like that, right? It always comes out the thing that, I'm all family values, and they're fucking literally everyone. Thank you, Crystal, for doing your amazing work as usual. Yes, fucking Panama Papers. People should read the Panama Papers. Realize how much they're being fucked by everyone that says, I'm just like you. I know I might be a billionaire, but, I put on my pants one leg at a time, and I put on my shoes 1 foot at a time, and just like a person I eat dinner and I crap on a toilet, we're all the same around here. Don't worry about what I do and what I vote for and what I pay for to happen in Congress. I'm just like you, boy. I'm cornbread white American. Woohoo! Fucking cunts. And it's like, that shit's so much worse over here because, like, the aristocracy's built into the fucking country. So, was it like 90% of the land in Britain is owned by people that were fucking named in a fucking book called the Doomsday Book from 1066 by William the fucking Conqueror? Because this land was just ordained from you by God. And of course, religion plays a part into it. It's like that song where it's all things bright and beautiful, creatures great and small. Well, there's a bit in that song.
The rich man in his castle, the poor man at his gate. He made them high or lowly and ordered their estate.
Because religion says you're a poor son of a bitch, prostrate, be happy, tithe more than the rich man, because Jesus said so. And don't worry what the fuck they do, because, well, they're not going to heaven, but you are. But, they'll get all the rewards here, and you get to suffer, and don't worry about it, yo. Just don't worry about it, and wait till you die, and then you won't suffer anymore. You'll be in paradise. And that paradise is just cold, hard blackness. Imagine trying to walk you right now, and what you're wearing in this time and day. You just suddenly, you were never here. You were in 15th century Italy. You see, you can't imagine that because you weren't there. It's like that after you die, you see? And people don't like that. So, we're going to make up stories and then... We're going to make up stories about it and then, because the rich people used to be the only people that can be taught properly. And kind of still are, especially in Britain. If you're a rich person, you get much better education and you get, all the better placements in work because, Daddy could, he knows a good chap who could do a poor fellow who's just come out of it and make me a little favour, Nah! We're all supposed to fight each other because rich fucks like Rupert Murdoch say, hey. There's a meme I saw that was going around. It's like a brown person on one side of a table, and then there's a poor white person on another side of a table, and then Rupert Murdoch's in the middle, you see, and then there's a giant fucking thing of cookies, right? And then they're in front of Rupert Murdoch, and there's like a couple of cookies in front of the white guy, and it says that brown person is trying to steal all your cookies. Because Jingle the Keys, look, ignore the man behind the curtain controlling your day-to-day lives. Ignore the fact that people make you think that it's impolite to ask about wages at work. Because you shouldn't be disgruntled about disparities in pay. It's like, the idea that... it's like poor people cough. Not those rich fucks. Reminds me of and why did I try and cough into my coffee? I tried to cough into my coffee. It's a pun. Anyway, no, was it that reminds me of this like a really old fucking show. Not the 1946 show. and it was like John Cleese, and then it has the two Ronnies, and there's loads of other people in it. And it was written by something Frost, Nick Frost. No, Nick Frost. David Frost, something like that. Something Frost. Anyway, but there's one sketch.
I look down on him because I am upper class.
I look up to him because he is upper class. But I look down on him because he is lower class. I am middle class. I know my place. I look up to them both. But I don't look up to him as much as I look up to him because he has got innate breeding.
I have got innate breeding, but I have not got any money. So sometimes I look up to him.
I still look up to him because although I have money, I am vulgar. But I'm not as vulgar as him. So I still look down on him. I know my place. I look up to them both. But while I am poor, I'm industrious, honest, and trustworthy. Had I the inclination, I could look down on them. But I don't.
We all know our place, but what do we get out of it? I get a feeling of superiority over them.
I get a feeling of inferiority from him, but a feeling of superiority over him. I get a pain in the back of my neck.
Yeah, fucking some some of that old English shit is really good. Some of it, like fucking, because it had Marty Feldman in it as well. Marty Feldman's a treasure. He's such a funny man. He looks so mental, but he uses it to such great degree and with such glee. Watch him in Yellowbeard. Fucking the fucking what's the Dracula one? No, the Frankenstein one. The fucking fuck the Mel Brooks one. It's Frankenstein. But the thing is, like, I think there's a Benny Hill was good, but there was the thing of him chasing around all the mostly naked women a lot. Britain likes that though. They like, until recently they showed tits just in the papers because they were right-wing papers, I suppose, because like fucking you gotta lure him into the racism and the hatred of the poor and the disabled with well, look at this 18-year-old's tits. She is fresh, legal, and look at him. You see him, wouldn't you like to see him bouncing? And if it's bouncing, well then maybe you could buy a little bit of the racism and the hate. Like, I don't get how we're not supposed to be worried about like an entire giant section of the populace that hates empathy. Like, come on, what the fuck? It's gay that. Because they listened to Andrew Tate too much and they went, I know that he might be a human trafficker, but that's what I really admire in a person. A person who takes what they want and does what they want. Because like even the whole idea, hello, Mr. Bell, even the whole idea of like right-wingism on the whole is, give it, it's mine. I want it, it's mine.
A lot of these cultural crimes I've been complaining about can be blamed on the baby boomers. Something else I'm a little tired of hearing about. The baby boomers. Narcissistic, self-indulgent people with a simple philosophy. Give me it, it's mine! Give me that, it's mine! These people were given everything. Everything was handed to them. And they took it all. Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And they stayed loaded for 20 years and had a free ride. But now they're staring down the barrel of middle-aged burnout. And they don't like it. So they've turned righteous. And they want to make things hard on younger people. They tell them abstain from sex, say no to drugs. As for the rock and roll, they sold that for television commercials a long time ago. You know something? Cold, bloodless people. It's in their slogans, it's in their rhetoric. No pain, no gain. Just do it. Life is short, play hard. Shit happens, deal with it. Get a life. These people went from do your own thing to just say no. They went from love is all you need to whoever winds up with the most toys wins. And they went from cocaine to Rogaine. And you know something? They're still counting grams, only now it's fat grams. Fuck these boomers, fuck these yuppies, and fuck everybody now that I think of it.
Because, like, what is it? If you really boil it down, right?
You know the difference that I define the difference between right wing and left wing. People to the right of center. Well, let's start with the people to the left. People to the left of center, liberals, Democrats, populists. They're interested in people, human beings, and human values. People to the right of the line, Republicans and rich people and right wingers, they're interested in property, not people, and they're soulless. They're without soul. They don't really care. They don't really care. These Christians don't do Jesus' work, which is to feed the poor and take care of the ones who can't help themselves. That's what their Jesus said. Feed those who have no way. Ones who have nothing going for them. Help them in my name.
It's really what happens when you boil down to it, right? Now, I know there's people like Jonathan Nate that'll say things like, well, the right cares more about security at the expense of freedom, where the left wants freedom at the expense of security. Which is sort of true, because really, when you think about it, they like to go on about how fucking, all these left-wingers are a bunch of fucking pussies, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? When really, these people are scared of everything. They're scared of the brown person going down the road. They're scared of the person that has a trans flag badge on the coat and like, oh no, they're near me. Oh no, they're taken away. Take it away. They're scared of everything. I need my gun with me because it might be terrorism. I know I live in a trailer in the middle of bumfuck nowhere in Mississippi, but, the terrorists are going to come in, and when Abdul comes down and goes, Allah, Allah, Big Akbar, I'm going to get out my gun and he's going to get. Like, these people are afraid of everything. Because they've been told to be afraid of everything by people they think are their betters. Because, there's...
The rich man in his castle, the poor man at his gate. He made them high or lowly and ordered their estate.
Some weird thing about, people being born into wealth and people go, oh, they're like gods or something. We have to pay attention to them. Oh, wow, it's so fun. It's a pathetic hero worship of, rich people that would spit on them for fun, just because you're there, right? These people that would walk past you and be like, you are polluting my air, get away, take him off the premises.
So recycling is our way of giving Mother Earth a great big hug. Yes, well, it does sound like fun. Release the hounds. Well, neighbor, I see you've got your running shoes on. That's a good thing. What's wrong with Crippler?
Oh, he's getting on, sir. He's been here since the late 60s.
Ah, yes. I'll never forget the day he bagged his first hippie.
Because these people hate the fuck out of everything about you. Because you are not rich like them. So you are not people. It's like Bright. Any of you ever watched the film Bright? I know a lot of people didn't seem to like it. I thought it was fucking really good. It's like a modern day fantasy with Will Smith. When there's orcs that are fucking Mexican gangbangers. And the thing is, right, elves are these rich fuckers, right? They completely take off all the middle of fucking central LA. And go, nobody's coming in here because you're not good enough like me. And that's all these fuckers are. They're all disgusted by you. Donald Trump can't walk down the street without fucking shitting his pants in case his ass explodes everywhere because he's too high on fucking speed and whatever since fucking 1971. And everybody's like, he's ripped off everyone in existence. He's ripped off the government. He's ripped off me. He's tried to sell every weird scam under the fucking book and failed every fucking time. Man's a fucking genius. I wanna be like him. I wish I was him. I love Trump. Trump is the best. Don't stand near him though. He smells. Oh. The problem, really, is that if you're on the left and you have some kind of integrity, you have to have morals. You have to have a thought of how other people are going to look at you, and you don't want people to look at you badly. And you also think that not wanting people to look at you badly is treating people better, you see? Because, it's almost like every time we work together as a species, we get past whatever problem it is, because we're a social creature, and working together is inherently what we're supposed to do. And these people want to separate us to keep us from having any kind of power to fight back against them, you see? And the right... Well, it was my original point. I went on a weird tangent. Yeah, so on the left, we're supposed to be like, no, we can't do all the things. And the right's like, fuck them. Fuck these little fucks. You are all a bunch of scum fucks that are not worth being under my shoe. I do not care if you're angry. Whatever. All they care about is angering their donors, angering their fucking Russian paymasters. Tenet Media was fun, wasn't it? Or simping for fucking rapists and pedophiles and fucking, oh look, why? The perfect way to show that these fucks don't have any standards is people like Russell Brand, right? Russell Brand used to be the weirdest left-wing conspiracy theorist knobhead there fucking was, right? And then back in the early 2000s, when it was a bit funny, you know, that he was a kind of a sexual deviant who used to, like, force himself upon people in a bunch of weird ways, and even kind of brags about it on some of his stand-up shows. Like, when that reemerges years later, that actually maybe we should care about that rapist, suddenly he's a right-wing gifter. Weird that, isn't it? It's weird how all these people, they get done for being sexual predators, and then suddenly they're right-wing. It's weird that. Weird that, isn't it? And this is the side that we're all supposed to champion, is good and wholesome, the rule abiders, the fucking people who, like, are supposed to lead us with the good, they've got the white hat on, they got the suit, and, oh, our military's the best, by the way, I don't want to fund the VA, so, you know, like, last time I checked, the VA was still not even digitized. I remember, was it almost 10 years ago now, The Daily Show did a thing when Jon Stewart, just before he left, about how the VA was collapsing under its own weight, because they couldn't digitize the fucking VA, and they still hadn't done it a couple of years ago under Trump. You know what I mean? Because, you know, who gives a shit about, I don't know, the military people that they send out in pointless wars? Who gives a shit? Well, you know, they're just expendable people, right? Because that's all it is, isn't it? It's just, look, just run out there, you go get shot by the brown people, you shoot the brown people, and then eventually we get oil or whatever bullshit that we've made up. And, like, you don't have to, you know, like, the idea that people like Jon Stewart have to, like, fight tooth and nail to get a fucking healthcare bill through for the 9/11 responders that took almost 20 years to get through fucking Congress because right-wingers are selfish, ignorant assholes that don't give a shit about you even when you do good things for your fucking country. It's fucking pathetic. How long? Well, Jon Stewart also spent fucking 6, 7, 8 years trying to get, like, the government to do anything about, you know, helping people that were fucked over by burn pits in Iraq. But hey, who gives a shit about that, right? Who gives a shit that the left wing was saying, maybe we should help these people, and then right wing would go, I don't want to pay for that. Why do I have to pay for that? That might mean we have to raise taxes, and I don't want to pay to help other people out. Because they're all a bunch of selfish cunts. Can we stop it's one of the worst things about Trump is this idea that all these old right-wingers were just the fucking best, man. I see people seriously talking about how they miss war criminal George Bush Jr., the man who lied about Iraq to everyone everywhere forever. Still to this day. And like, oh, do you know what? I sure do miss George Bush. You know, I miss the days when he didn't know how to respond to 9/11 and made us invade countries that had nothing to do with it because they tried to kill his daddy.
And the decision of one man to launch a wholly unjustified and brutal invasion of of Ukraine. Iraq, too. Anyway.
And he wanted to do one over his daddy because his daddy didn't kill Saddam Hussein either. Sorry, I mean, he did, but you know what I mean. Like, this man tried to appoint his fucking maid to the Supreme Court. Like, what? It was either his maid or his nanny or something like, well, she has good advice. You know, isn't it? I miss the day, right? I miss the days when the president and leader of the free world would say things like, right, now, when your enemy's got your back against the wall, you gotta turn 360 degrees and face him. Like, this man was a fucking moron. Like, the idea that somewhere out there in this vague ether are really nice, wholesome Republicans that actually just care about deficit spending and just want, you know, they just want the best things for Americans and not the bank balance is fucking silly. These people had slaves, these people fucking, did literally every right that people wanted in the world, women's right to vote, reproductive rights, fucking slavery, equality in the workplace, equality of just living. Oh, well, the Chinese are bad, the Russians are bad, you know, except for when they're not. You know, you're supposed to hate the Japanese because of World War II, maybe sometimes. You know, like, you hate all these different people because of them. And they're like, oh, we're the nice people. Hate them. We're the nice people. Hate them. And then the people are like, hey, we should treat each other with a bit of respect, right? And if we started treating each other with respect, maybe we could then start to work together and we could get some shit done. And then we're the bad ones because we're like, hey, don't be a knobhead to people, baby. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we could just not be a twat? But I really want to be a twat. Oh. Humanity is nothing but a bunch of crabs in a fucking bucket. You know, all the crabs are trying to get out, aren't they? They're trying to climb out and trying to do all that shit. And fucking people just keep on crabbing them in. The crabs nearly get out. Well, the crab grabs them in. Because we can't elevate ourselves as a species. Can we? No, because fuck everyone else. Because no, everyone else isn't your brain. Hooray! Aren't we all very lucky to be on this planet? That's why I hope this rocket these rockets, because there's one that's just blast off and there's another one that's going to blast off soon. That both go into Europe, and I hope they find some other fucking life there. And maybe it might bring some fucking perspective to people. But it's so silly. I keep on thinking that humanity's gonna like get better, and it never does. Do you know what? I was too naive when I was but a young boy. And I saw in the cartoons the good always won and the evil always lost, and people worked together to overcome things, and people tried to be nice to each other. And I read the Bible, I read the Bible, and I read the bits the priest told me to read, and I listened to the bits the priest told me to read when he said that we were supposed to be nice to each other. And then found it weird when he's like, except those people. Hate those people, though. Everyone else, oh, God's chosen. But those people, no. It's the saddest thing, isn't it? That fucking all of this is just like some madman's crazy loon story that fucking, oh, there's a god up there that's controlling everything, and he sees everything you do all day, every day, and he knows everything that you do. And, we've got to make it, and he knows when you're naughty nice, and he's going to punish you forever or give you a thingy forever. And that's not like Santa at all. Don't worry about it. It's just...
You're saying that humans need fantasies to make life bearable?
No, humans need fantasy to be human, to be the place where the falling angel meets the rising ape.
With tooth fairies, Hogfather.
Yes, that's practice. You have to start out learning to believe the little lies.
So we can believe the big ones?
Yes, justice, mercy, duty, that sort of thing.
They're not the same at all.
You think so? Then take the universe and grind it down to the finest powder and sieve it through the finest sieve, and then show me one atom of justice, one molecule of mercy. And yet, you try to act as if there is some ideal order in the world, as if there is some rightness in the universe by which it may be judged.
But people have got to believe that. What's the point?
You need to believe in things that aren't true. How else can they become?
And then, like, why? I don't get the virtue. I don't get what the virtuousness of believing anything on faith is. Like, I don't get it. Like if a friend comes to me and says, oh, do you know, the other day I bought a thing. I'll go, all right, cool. I'll believe that on faith because I believe in them, you see, because, they've done things to improve my trust. And God does nothing, and you're supposed to have all of it, and then also that God having your back and, having his trust and all that means, well, hate those people, hate those people, hate those people, be really selfish. And I know that there's bits that you can read in the book that's about this God that say that you should be nice to people and rich people are evil, but actually champion them because they are the winners. It's all just a mistranslation. What it actually says is,
it is super duper easy for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven. The richer, the better, really. Maybe get a solid gold house, just to be sure.
It's all there. That's that rant done. I meandered, but it's just fucking... I'm sick of right-wing shit. The idea that Trump is so fucking on level with Kamala Harris is a fucking joke. Like... Kamala ain't the best, because I'm Johnny Socialist, And like, I want to destroy the system and in place socialism and make people get along. Like, fuck them. Like, hey, maybe you should pay your fucking fair share, and then we don't have to pay. Like, it's the other thing. That's the other thing. One of the things I forgot to say. It's one of the reasons I like socialism. You tax rich people more, you tax people that have more, and pay back into the fucking country that made them what they are. And then what? What's supposed to be the downside? Like, aside from the fact that rich people can't make as much money, because when you lower taxes and you cut public services, when you cut those public services then need to be made private. Private services are more expensive and they are run by private interests that do not give a shit about service, quality, or like you, right? They care about their bank balance at the end of the day, right? And the idea that a social safety net that is like the minimum that anybody in the country is supposed to be at and you're not supposed to have that, or it's supposed to be shit, it's pathetic. And if you think such things, like, I don't get how we're not supposed to look at you and say, oh, actually, you're an evil person. You don't want to pay for the chance that you might end up poor. You don't want to pay for the chance that you might end up sick because, well, I might have to pay for a Mexican or one of them people from Iraqistan. It's pathetic. And people that don't want to help other people out in such ways, and thus make it cheaper for literally everyone, and thus feed your selfish notions where actually I need more money in my fucking pocket because, like, you know, I need more money. So if the government was providing it, even though I was paying more tax, I'd actually have more money overall because I'd be paying less VAT because I'm buying less items. But who gives a shit about paying for less when you could pay rich people more and then feel like you're getting selection and choice? Hooray! These people are evil. And I'm sick of pretending they're not. And I'm sick of pretending that, you know, once upon a time, they were actually kind, decent people. And they weren't. They weren't. They never were. Oh well, right. It's general chat and rant achieved. I might turn that into a video. Let's get on to actually watching some shit. So, I said it at the start, but I'll say it again. Like, subscribe, you know, hit the notify bell if you want to hit shit. You know, leave a comment when it's done or whatever. On, you know, if you want to help out more, there's a Patreon. Videos are put it on the Patreon now on Mondays. It might be Tuesday this week because this one I want to film a little bit extra after I'm done streaming tonight. So it might take a little bit longer. But I'm still hoping to get it out tomorrow. But at the beginning of the year, I'm going to start doing monthly hangouts on the Patreon, talking about whatever. I don't know. I'll probably end up talking about Discworld. And I want to do movie watch-alongs as well. And you get your name on the channel. That's probably a thing that I should definitely have done from the start. I don't know how to do things well, okay? And I don't know. I you know, or whatever. There's yeah. I need new cameras and stuff anyway. So today, in case you didn't notice from the name, we were talking about Gavin Ortland talking about how great the fine-tuning argument. Sorry.